We go live to the summit of the G77 and China held in Havana. Let's listen to the statement of Amery, Browne, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Vice President, my friend, Minister Browne, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, fellow ministers, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Prime Minister Keith Rowley, I bring a warm Trinidad and Tobago greeting to the entire G77 family. Trinidad and Tobago joins the international community in extending condolences to the people of Libya and Morocco following the devastating recent natural disasters. I must express my heartfelt appreciation to the government and people of the Republic of Cuba for the arrangements put in place and for the generous hospitality and courtesies extended to me and my delegation in this beautiful and resilient nation. The government of Trinidad and Tobago recognizes Cuba's astute leadership of the G77 and China. You have performed exceptionally in maintaining the group's strength and solidarity as we navigate the complex challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic recovery, climate crisis, shortages in food and medical supplies, and a war in Europe, which began with the invasion of Ukraine and which places us closer to the prospect of nuclear weapons being used than ever before in my lifetime. While we continue to confront these challenges, we retain the hope that science, technology, and innovation will contribute comprehensive solutions as our nations work together for a sustainable future. We applaud the tireless efforts of those pursuing scientific endeavors and are cognizant of the immense quantum of resources necessary to transform one stroke of genius into an application of ubiquitous use which benefits the whole of society. Through science, technology, and innovation, the good of one individual can redound exponentially to the benefit of all. It is incumbent upon us, therefore, to ensure that the positive developments of science and technology are enjoyed equitably by every individual on the face of the planet. Mr. Chairman, the right to access science and its benefits was articulated in the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But many in the scientific community are of the view that existing restrictions on the availability of scientific knowledge is retarding scientific progress. And now there's a growing support for the idea of a global transition to open science. In this vein, I refer to the UNESCO recommendation defining the norms, values, principles, and actions for achieving open science. But within the global financial architecture, as it currently stands, it comes as no surprise that access to technology has not been fully democratized across the globe. Humankind has the capacity to end world hunger and to solve many of the long-standing challenges. But at the end of the day, we have to decide if we will prioritize investments in sustaining life or in fueling death, to focus on our reality or on someone else's fantasy. In today's world, it costs far less to land on the moon than it costs to make a feature film about landing on the moon. With all our resources, including our human resources, it is not just about what you have, but how you use it. Mr. Chairman, as we rapidly approach the advent of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, I believe it is important in considering the absolute necessity for openness in science to address the issue of the continued unjustified imposition of an economic, commercial, and financial embargo against Cuba, which the UNGA has repeatedly condemned as contrary to the UN Charter and international law. Trinidad and Tobago consistently rejects the imposition of these unilateral coercive measures against Cuba and against Venezuela, and we again call for their immediate end. Mr. Chairman, small island developing states are required to adopt a more strategic approach in allocating funding to science, technology, and innovation. We in Trinidad and Tobago have invested significantly into building our human capital to the extent that we have been able to raise the percentage of our workforce with tertiary qualifications to nearly 20%. Our private sector also serves an important role in increasing research and innovation, and our government has invested heavily in supporting private sector research by offering tax incentives for investments in research and development. These strategies escalate our commitment to science, technology, and innovation as are embedded in national policy as Trinidad and Tobago's National Development Strategy, Vision 2030. We advocate for the continued global recognition of SIDS as a special case for sustainable development, and we reinforce the importance of this group's solidarity for supporting tailored measures and solutions to address their unique challenges. The government of Trinidad and Tobago continues to fully support the G77 and China. And finally, science, technology, and innovation. Nuclear science helped us to split the atom. That is the past. The new challenge is for us to split the resources, to develop a reformed global financial system, because the current architecture was not designed by us, and it certainly was not designed for us. Muchísimas gracias, Cuba, for reunir a la familia. Salud.
We were listening to the same as Amery, Browne, the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago at the summit of Group 77 held in Havana. He highlighted that through science, innovation, and technology, individuals have his own development, and thanked Cuba for the invitation. More breaking news coming up. Stay with us.